What's up, everybody? I'm Victor, and welcome to DigiBros! And Hope's here, too!
Hey, y'all, I'm Hope. I'm just a good old Southern girl. I was raised a Christian. Oh,
So,
I love having blonde hair and blue eyes, and I love having a horse. I'm from Virginia.
I have it on good sources that Hope does not actually like horses, Victor, or Hope.
Nah, I love me some horses.
So, you guys, I'm Victor, and I'm sorry that I really suck at this final boss, and I spent like 20 minutes spinning my wheels last time.
I can't keep up country, Hope. I'm sorry, this is too confusing. I don't understand what's happening.
I'm Victor.
Looks like Invisibility won the Splatfest.
No, Flight won.
What?
Yeah, Flight won.
Gay.
Because you're a fucking idiot and you chose the wrong side.
No, because Invisibility was green, and green is better than blue. It's whatever. There was a Splatfest. It was a good old time. Oh, I can show you. God, I wish this stuff would end. It's
yeah, but we get to look at Marina, so
just
it's fine.
so much shit. Swag. Alright, everyone, welcome back to Splatoon. I'm obviously the real Victor.
No, don't let him lie to you.
Whoa, we got 3 super sea snails. Dude, cool, look at them, they're cool.
Yeah, you did alright. You
All
were in
right.
invisibility. Hey, a DDR.
Say what?
There's DDR over there. On the
Oh,
right.
you haven't seen it? Yeah, it's dumb. Here, let me show you.
Fuck, my bad. It's dumb, you guys. Fuck it.
It's
dumb.
not real DDR.
Well, yeah, I kind of realized there's probably not DDR in Splatoon.
Let me change my shirt back to a good shirt, because I had to wear a stupid invisibility shirt.
I think it took your invisibility shirt back, it said.
Okay. What did I had on the hoodie, though.
Your Splatfest shirt.
Yeah, because we're educated. Look how educated our character looks.
Whoa, a collared shirt under a hoodie? It's almost like you have an undergrad degree.
Whoa. I hope I'm still achieving the undergrad degree. This is for someone who's an English major, okay? Look at this English major right here.
Are you taking a break from Catcher in the Rye to go play some Splatoon?
Yes, it's definitely a college level book. What am I doing?
Alright, Holden Caulfield,
Oh yeah, I
want
to show you guys,
DDR.
Oh yeah, DDR, but first, I took pictures of Splatfest so we could show that off.
Oh, yeah.
There was a Splatfest and they showed these, like, the whole lobby was changed and there was a dance party happening.
It was actually pretty cool.
So I took some pictures to show how transformative it was.
Transformative.
Yes,
so yeah, Marina
all genders
and
were
Pearl
represented.
have, like, this big stage up there. It's really cool. They, actually have quite a bit of, like, motion sequences to go through. They don't just repeat the same thing over and over. It's
They
neat.
dance and they dance for a long time.
They have like a performance that they actually do.
They do a whole bit. They do a whole thing.
Yeah, it's neat.
Let me show Hope this DDR machine. Anyways, guys, this is the exciting finale of Vic and Hope play Splatoon. That involves us actually just playing this DDR
playing
minigame.
the mini games in Splatoon.
Okay, play. It just plays like the music from the game. How do I change it to song? Oh, here we go. Music select. It's not. Oh, there we go.
Wow.
So you gotta like get ones, and then you play it, and then there we go.
It's just a rhythm game.
Yeah, but it's like super basic.
What do you get if you are good at this?
Nothing.
It's just for fun?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's just a little.
Just a little bonus game that's in here. Alright, well I thought maybe you could have gotten points or something, but I guess not.
It's so basic because it's only like, it's just 2 buttons. Alright, now we're going quiet playing this game, so I don't want to keep playing this.
I mean, there's not a lot to say about
there's no real
poor man's
goal there.
DDR.
You're just playing DDR.
So yeah, I guess this guy likes turtles.
Alright, let's not waste any time
I love
lollygagging. Let's get right into a thing to talk. Oh wait, this is not story mode.
Victor just started playing.
We gotta get into a conversation. Our videos tend to be top heavy and faffing about nonsensically before we start talking about something. What is faffing a big word to you?
I just have never heard you say faffing about.
Dude, seriously?
Yeah. It makes me
I feel like I've said faffing about a lot of my life.
Makes me think of Faffy. It makes me happy.
What is Faffy?
Faffy.
What is that, Flaffy, the Pokemon?
Kind of.
Okay.
I feel like, I don't know. I feel like there was another reference in there that my brain misfired and didn't remember.
Faffy?
But
oh, I got
really
this gun.
matter.
I don't want this gun.
Well, then change your gun.
I'm changing my fucking gun, bro. Okay.
Alright, you guys. You ready to spend 15 minutes of Victor getting back to the boss stage?
Yeah. I can do it. See? I go to Sector 5.
He's a good boy. Look, can you just teleport right to the boss?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy.
Woo!
Oh!
There were pretty
Holy
colors
shit.
on the way.
Efficiency and Digibros.
That's never been done before, especially in a finale.
Yeah, especially.
But,
well, Digibros finales are known for being succinct and sufficient and being good at the game.
You know, not 40 minutes long.
And not
well, Conrad
2 hours
probably,
of so long, gay Bowser, over and over again.
Fucking, Conrad must have set the world record for shortest Digibros finale with the Wario one.
That's true.
Because it was like 10 minutes long. Alright, guys. We're going to lose to this boss a couple more times.
Are you ready to get your ass kicked?
Because they make me use this stupid gun. I don't want to use this gun. Like, we spent the whole time learning not to use this gun. Now we're going to use this gun.
Learning not to use this gun. Well, just change the gun.
I can't. You have to use it for this. For the final battle, you gotta use this gun.
Oh.
Yeah, they decreed it.
They decreed it so.
Yes.
That faggot Sheldon.
Sheldon?
Yeah, that's his name.
Is it the boss?
No,
Okay.
Sheldon is the guy that gives you all your guns.
Oh, you're right. His name is right there at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, I know. Because again...
Don't be mean to me, Hope. I'm playing Splatoon.
Whoa!
Ah! Anyways, what do you want to talk about?
So,
you got something to say?
You
got something to say to me? You fucking got something to say?
Nothing that I wouldn't say
I died.
Damn. Nothing that I wouldn't say off camera.
What?
I love you.
I love you too.
Alright. If Victor thinks he can handle it, we could talk about the Death Note movie and what a fucking travesty this whole thing
Give us an intro. Give us some context. Give us a little lead-in on the Death Note movie.
So as history, I will admit I have not read the Death Note manga, but I have seen the anime, and I have seen the Japanese live-action movies when I was much younger. Yeah. And I remember them being not too bad. They were fine. How many movies
were there? I remember 3. I saw this first one. I don't think I saw the other ones.
I think there was 3, and I saw 2 of the 3.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw the last one. But I remember from what I remember, they were pretty good. I mean, they were, you know, they was like, all right, yeah, it's a Death Note adaptation, it's fine. So, you know, couple months ago, Death Note releases the trailer. Netflix releases the trailer for their live-action Death Note movie, and of course, it looks like shit. It looks like it's completely wrecked the spirit of Death Note because it's an American adaptation.
And it was obvious.
For American audiences.
It's obvious from the first fucking trailers exactly what it is, exactly what it's going for.
It's a shitty teen direct-to-ABC movie.
Yes.
It's garbage.
It's only got a budget because it's Netflix and they can do whatever the fuck they want.
But there's also the meta going on beneath the actual like release of these trailers of the Death Note live action movie, in which Mother's Basement, professional shitbag, becomes the White Knight of the American Death Note movie.
Yes, he is the biggest defender of the Death Note movie, man.
He just fucking wants
every
to
trailer,
be on
you sit there and analyze it and be like, oh, but look, clearly they've seen Death Note before when they made this movie, and they literally thought about one thing.
Actually tried. This is gonna be a good movie, you guys. So Jeff reassures us on multiple occasions that there is hope for the American Death Note movie.
If you notice, while you're watching the trailer, the Death Note falls from the sky, and Light notices it. You can tell, you know, they were thinking when they made this scene that Light would notice the Death Note.
It's a commentary on how you are aware of your environment. In real life.
Anyways, yeah, so Jeff has been making these fucking videos trying to defend the Death Note movie.
For every time a new trailer was released, there would also be a Mother's Basement video defending the new trailer, despite the negative backlash it was getting. So this movie really got to be built up to be quite the meme in this household.
Yes.
It came to the weekend that the movie was released, and we actually had made plans with another friend of ours to actually have them come over and watch the movie with us, but they couldn't make it over until Monday, and it was released on Friday. And Victor was literally so excited, he could not wait until Monday when our friends would come over to watch the Death Note movie.
Because I wanted to see the responses. Like, Monkey Jones put out a fucking...
Monkey did put out a video
he put out a video like 2 hours later. I couldn't have fucking waited.
He did. So...
That shit needed to happen.
Basically, as soon as I finished my homework on Friday, we sat down and we watched the Death Note movie.
Yes.
And we actually did record ourselves watching it.
Yeah, we have a whole Let's Watch of Death Note.
We do. I wasn't sure that it was good enough to really be released.
I think it's good.
Victor thinks it's fine.
As a Let's
like,
Watch, like it's already a dumb premise. Like,
yeah,
it's
I don't know.
fine as we are idiots watching a movie and people can shit on the movie with us while we watch it. I don't know. Like, it's not like we analyze it or anything.
We don't.
But that's not the point.
We just kind of mystery science theater it a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't super like, man, I think we did some really witty stuff. But if you guys want to see it, I guess let us know.
It's not like we're trying to like be witty and make jokes. We're just kind of giving honest reactions to the movie.
The audio from the movie is really loud, so we're afraid there would be a copyright strike against the channel if we put it up somewhere. Yeah. But anyway, that's really not what is super important here. Yeah. Because the movie is a complete fucking travesty.
Yeah. If go pause this finale and go watch the fucking Death Note movie. It's worth it for the meme.
Steal someone's
You're gonna
Netflix.
Have fun.
Go watch the Death Note movie. It's an hour and 40 minutes of your time, but you'll have fun.
Yeah. If you get a drink, get a snack.
Yes.
Really sit back and enjoy the shit show, man. Like,
yeah, really sit in there and build up your hype for the amount of garbage you're about to consume.
Set your expectations super low. Don't watch it expecting to be pleasantly surprised or anything. Go into it thinking, yeah, I can't wait to shit on this movie because there's no other way
all you're going to
come out of it. It's dumb.
Yes. So we watched this movie, and I think overall, I think the problem with the movie is that they had no regard for the fan base of Death Note, and they just decided that they were gonna take it in the direction they wanted to take it, and everyone else could suck it up.
Give me a plot summary. Go through the motions.
Oh
what
God!
Happens in the movie?
So I've seen this movie twice now, and
yes, we've watched the fucking movie twice.
I have to say, the second watch helped me pick up on a couple of things. It was still fucking stupid, but it helped me pick up on a couple of things I didn't catch on the first go around. So essentially, the movie takes place in high school because that's relatable to everybody. And your main character is I almost said Nat Wolff. That's the actual actor's name. It's Light Turner, because there's a lot of American kids named Light. We couldn't have just scrapped that name like we did for Misa. So Nat Turner is established. Nat Wolff. Whatever.
Light Turner.
Light Turner.
Light Turner.
Light, you got me. Ah.
God, this boss fucking sucks.
Help.
Why is it so fucking hard?
I don't know. Because it's the final boss. Anyway, so the establishing first shot of this movie is everybody at the school, they're outside, it's lunch break or something, I guess, and Light is out on this bench next to the football practice / cheerleading practice. So you get an establishing shot of both Light and Mia, who is the Misa of this movie. So Light is sitting on this bench, and he's like forging some math homework, and you see this kid come up to him and slip him like $5 or something.
Yes.
And he gives him this like pre-filled out math homework, but if you look at the sheet, he's only filled out like 3 of the fucking questions on the algebra homework, so like, congrats on getting ripped off, idiot. Whatever.
Nice.
So you already established that, Light's super smart, he can do high school algebra. Great. I like how you're preemptively covering the playing field.
Yeah, because I'm trying to make this a little bit fucking easier on myself.
And the establishment for Mia, is that she's on the cheerleading squad, and the cheerleading squad is practicing right next to the football team?
They're literally like, the football team is practicing, the cheerleading team is like practicing on the baseball field, Light's sitting there doing his homework, and Mia's just like, she's practicing But she acts like she doesn't give a fuck,
she's
and
not
she's like
into
smoking.
it at all, and she's smoking.
But then she's like the centerpiece. Like she's clearly like
she's the flyer.
They make her out like the captain of the fucking cheerleading team, who also is smoking and not giving a shit because she's so goth.
In the middle of practice, she like they have her up in the flying position, and she like jumps down and like pulls out a cigarette and starts smoking. And everyone on the team is just keeps going. They just keep doing their routine because
no coach around or anything.
A high schooler smoking
doing?
on school grounds would be totally permissible, while they're doing a school activity.
Yes. With
and
no
then,
adult
course,
supervision at all.
Mia's smoking and looking all cool, and Light looks over and he sees her and she's like, yeah, what's up? And he's like, girls! And he freaks out. But it's okay because it starts raining and everybody like freaks out and has to run inside the school because it's raining, and it's no one wants to be out in the rain.
The Death Note falls.
Oh yeah, the Death Note falls.
The Death Note falls before the rain starts. There's a big gust of wind.
The Death Note summoned,
and it blows everyone's hair.
The rain.
There's a giant gust of wind.
Yeah,
and everyone's like, whoa,
is also part of this movie.
And then the Death Note falls because it has to be so like this epic, mysterious event.
Very supernatural.
And Death Note, Light gets it, and he's like, wow.
Whoa,
it's
that's
the
a
Death
book.
Note. Cool. I picked it up.
He picks up the Death Note, and it was windy, and it starts raining, and everyone freaks out and runs inside. Yes. And of course, on the way inside, he happens upon this kid who is being bullied by these two big buff high school guys, and he tries to protect the kid who's being bullied, and the way he does this.
What the fuck? I was way far away from those.
The way he does this is in the most cuckboy fashion imaginable, in which he goes, "Oh, Bob Vanderbilt, you've been held back 2 years. That means that technically you're 18, and if you assault me, you're assaulting a minor, and you can get in a lot of trouble for that."
Which is like the classic fucking little faggot boy response to something like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking spout some legal loophole at you because I'm a fucking idiot. And
I'm a minor,
somehow
so you
I think
can't
this is
touch
gonna
me.
make me not get my ass kicked because the police are literally gonna arrest you for assaulting a minor at school.
Yeah.
Like,
so
who
surprisingly, this doesn't work, and he ends up getting decked by this guy anyway because he's a fucking little turd.
Yes.
And
but
then,
Mia was there. She was
Mia's
also
there.
Trying to help the bully.
And she's like, "Stop being mean to this boy."
Yes.
But then Light still gets decked, and it really doesn't matter that much. So he gets decked, and he ends up in the principal's office. And instead of being upset that he has been punched in the face, the principal is upset because he sees that he has all these math homeworks that he has pre-filled out and is selling to the other students. Yeah. And academic honor code or whatever the fuck.
You're cheating.
That's not okay. And of course, Light's like, well, what's really the bigger problem? Is it me getting punched in the face, or is it me copying algebra homework? And of course, the principal doesn't give a shit and gives him detention.
Yeah.
So, and the principal also decides to do a big plot dump about how Light's mom died. She was killed in a car accident. His mom is dead. Light's mom is dead.
She was murdered.
She's dead.
Okay.
She was murdered. Did you know that? Light, did you know your mom was murdered? Because that happened.
You didn't know that, by the way.
So, Light, did you remember how your mom was murdered? So, on top of getting detention, he's reminded that his mom was brutally murdered in a vehicular manslaughter incident, and the guy who killed his mom got away. His charges were acquitted. So Light's not too pleased about that, but he goes to detention because, that's what you do when you're in high school. And apparently no one is actually monitoring the actual, detention room that he's in, because the teacher just, leaves 2 minutes into the
That's
scene.
true. He's just kind of in there
He's just
alone.
alone in there, hanging out.
Fuck it. He's one of the smart kids. He's not doing anything in there.
Exactly. He's a good boy. What's he gonna do? Copy more algebra homework? So while he's sitting in there doing nothing, a fucking breeze blows through the room, and it's like, oh, spooky, and the lights are flickering, and there's confetti fucking flying everywhere.
Yeah.
Why was there all this multicolored? I guess there's crafts on the shelf in the
blowing
science
up all
room,
the arts and crafts,
and it blows confetti everywhere for some fucking reason. And Light's like, oh shit, well what the fuck is this? And he's being a little cuckboy, and he decides he needs to go check it out. And there's he wanders back to where there's all these shelving units in the back of the room, and he wanders back there, And as he wanders back there, he sees like this big creepy shadow moving behind one of the shelving units, and he reacts in the way any reasonable human being would react, which is to scream like a girl and slam himself backwards into the shelving units, knocking them all over.
He screams like a little bitch and tries to escape the room. He's all,
he literally shrieks.
Yeah.
He shrieks and like slams himself backwards into these shelving units and like stumbles over himself, shrieking to get to the door. And he gets to the door and the door is magically locked for some reason.
Yes,
and so you see him through the window pane of the door, like banging on the glass and shrieking.
He's like
a maniac, shrieking like just like this little fucking baby. And you're like, yes, this is great. This is Light Turner. And
Light Turner,
so
everyone.
He realizes he can't get out, so he decides the next best option is to hide under the teacher's desk.
Yes.
And this doesn't work out well for him because I think like Ryuk flips the desk over or something. Yeah. Something happens and it unveils his hiding place.
He does his spooky thing.
Yes, and there's Ryuk. There he is. He's a big spooky boy, and he's like, hey, I gave you a notebook, and he proceeds to be like, hey, so there's these two guys outside bullying this little girl.
Bullying some girl. Like two fucking high school guys bullying a girl.
High school dudes bullying one little high school girl.
Like kicking the shit out of her.
And like shoving her around outside in broad daylight where like students are passing by.
Like right outside the school.
Like right outside the school gates.
Where there'd probably be like police officers helping with traffic and shit.
It's fucking amazing. And he's like, yeah, those guys are bullying that girl. You should kill them.
Yes. Ryuk has to pressure him.
Ryuk peer pressures Light into
You have to kill these guys. You have to murder these guys for pushing around a girl.
For bullying a girl in high school. For shoving her around outside.
Murder them.
You have to take their fucking lives for that shit. So,
What I love is that, like, a scene like that, to have Ryuk have to convince Light to murder, it's supposed to make Light more relatable, you know, more believable, because he's not like a sociopath.
Yeah,
he's
like,
more sympathetic. But this is, you're literally just killing some bully, like,
you're literally
for picking on people.
You're killing a guy for, the punishment doesn't match the crime.
Yeah, it's no more sympathetic than the original. It's more retarded.
It's more, because at this point you're killing people who don't really deserve to die.
Yeah.
They haven't killed anyone, they haven't raped anyone, like, they're assholes, but they don't need to die. Like, that's not appropriate. So, Light, being the little cuck he is like, oh yeah, you know what? You're right, I should kill these guys. And so, instead of just writing their names down in the death note and letting it, take its course, or writing a method of death that's, relatively bloodless, he writes these guys' names in the death note and chooses their method of death as decapitation.
Yes.
He decapitates a guy for bullying a girl in high school. He decapitates them.
Has to go through the whole fucking Final Destination kill scene.
This sets up a Final Destination chain of events wherein there's these students walking down the sidewalk one way and a woman with a Whole Foods bag walking another way, and her Whole Foods bag rips and it scatters her groceries along the ground, and an apple or something rolls under this kid's feet.
Oh, I lost all my ink. No.
And the kid, of course, had a basketball because he's a sports boy. And so when he slips on the whatever round fruit was on the ground, his basketball flies out of his hand, and it flies into the street. And then it slides under this truck, and the truck slips on the basketball, and then it hits another car, and the other car had a ladder on it. And as the other car is hit, the ladder is propelled forward, and the ladder slams into the face of the guy who Light wrote his name in the death note, and his head explodes off of his body.
Yeah.
And it's stupid.
It explodes in half.
It explodes
in half. And
then
it rolls along the ground with, like, the tongue sticking out of the bottom. Like, the most gruesome possible bullshit.
It's beautiful. It's art.
Because
Thank you, Adam
this is
Wingard.
what idiot teens want to see.
This is what children want. So yeah, and this is the first in a couple different Final Destination-esque deaths, because you know what everybody really liked about Death Note? gore.
Yes.
They really
Well,
liked
Hope,
the Rube Goldberg-esque gore.
This is Adam Wingard improving Death Note. Okay?
Yes.
He's making a better version.
The same way
of
he
Death Note.
improved Blair Witch.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you, Adam Wingard. You are a fucking maverick of our fucking generation. So yeah, so that happens, and Light seems pretty unperturbed by this.
Yeah.
He saw a kid's head get fucking split in half by a ladder.
And he's just like, oh,
and he's
cool,
just like,
it works.
Oh, neat. That actually happened.
This more sympathetic Light, who isn't a sociopath, is just like, oh, okay, I killed a kid.
He's like, bro,
but they were bullies, fuck them.
Bro.
Yes.
So that happens, and then he just goes home and has dinner with his dad. And it's this really uninteresting scene where he and his dad mutter to each other across the dinner table.
Yes, it's unintelligible
and,
because everyone in this movie whispers.
And they prove that their life sucks because they live next to train tracks, and half the scene is the train going by, and all you hear is.
But
and no one is saying anything.
Hold on, this is Jeff Thu's example of how this movie is really well directed. It has genius storytelling because there's a train going by, which means that they live in a poor neighborhood, which means that the movie is good.
Okay.
Because they thought about setting for like 5 seconds and decided to have a train go by, an annoying CGI train that never comes up again. It doesn't matter at all.
Now you could say that they're poor and they live in a poor neighborhood, but this is still a big, relatively nice house.
Yeah,
that they
it's
live
like
in.
a nice house.
It just happens to be next to train tracks.
And his dad is like a chief of police. There's
Yes.
no way they're poor.
His dad is still a high-up police officer, so there's no way. Like, police officers, even normal police officers, make a decent salary. They're not, they're not destitute. Like, they can make a living. So if your dad is the chief of police, I'm pretty sure
he's probably
you're
making
not,
6 figures,
You're not wanting. You're okay. So it's kind of bullshit to try to convince us that their life is hard.
That's not
in that
an
sense.
element of Light's character ever at any point in the movie.
Yeah, but this is
it never
American
matters.
Light. America's in a recession, Victor. Anyway,
Is that what he said?
No,
Okay.
I made that up. I made that up. That was not in the movie.
No, I mean, Jeff.
Jeff did not say that
he
either.
didn't say that.
So he and his dad mumble some shit at each other, and Light gets pissed off, and he storms off upstairs.
Yes.
And what his dad didn't know is that at some point he had snuck into his office and stolen some newspaper clippings that.
Well, he does that on this scene.
On the scene?
Like, yeah.
Oh, he runs in there.
Remember, he goes upstairs after he goes
and then he
into
goes
his
in his
room
dad's
and talks
office
to
and
Ryuk,
steals
and then he
these
goes in
clippings.
and he steals the newspaper clippings.
Yeah, so he steals these newspaper clippings of the face and name of the guy who killed his mom.
Yes.
So he's like, yeah, I'm gonna get rid of the guy who killed my mom because that's what I'm gonna do.
Justice. This Light has motivations, okay? He has a dark past, and so he's not just some sociopath.
He has a dark past.
Fucking asshole. This is a sympathetic character. He has reasons for what he does. It's an improvement on the original, okay?
For sure.
It's better than the original.
So,
because Light is more sympathetic.
So he writes this guy's name in the Death Note, and this activates another Rube Goldberg Final Destination Death Machine, wherein this guy is out eating at like a fancy restaurant with some ladies, and like something happens. A lady knocks a salt shaker off of the table. And every death in this movie results from someone slipping on something. Like, be it a fruit, a basketball, like, whatever. So
a salt shaker.
One of the wait staff slips on the salt shaker, and through some series of events, his tray, I think, hits the guy in the back of the head.
Yeah, and then he slams his head down.
Yeah, it slams his face forward onto his dinner plate. And at first you're like, well, that was weird. And then when he picks his head up, his steak knife was like driven up through his mouth and like out the back of his head or something.
Dude, it
to
was
that effect.
so brutal and rad, bro. It was fucking cool, dude.
This causes
a fucking geyser
of blood that just erupts out of his mouth and like covers the table in blood.
It was so brutal,
and everyone,
bro.
all the girls
dude,
at the table
there's
are
so
like,
much gore, dude.
And it's terrifying. It's
it was
truly terrifying.
fucking awesome.
Thank you, Adam Wingard. I would like to thank you again for the practical effects.
Yes.
It's truly
amazing practical effects.
Because that amount of gore would truly happen with that kind of death.
Yes.
And the other thing that is kind of like, they didn't establish that the steak knife was like facing upward on his plate.
It just kind of
happens to be there when he falls into it. So,
so
he kills
Adam
that guy.
Wingard knew he was never going to get to direct a Final Destination movie, and so he decided to ruin Death Note.
Which seems stupid because, I mean, what qualifications do you need to direct a Final Destination movie, you know?
Be
like,
the guy who made Final Destination? What the? How many fucking hits does this thing take? This sucks! I don't want to fucking fight this thing, man. This sucks ass.
Alright.
Alright, I gotta get good.
Get good, scrub.
I don't want to keep fighting this. This sucks ass.
So, he kills the guy who killed his mom. And at this point, he actually starts. Well, he doesn't really read the rules in the notebook. It's more like Ryuk reads them to him.
Yes,
because Light is too busy to read. You know how Light didn't ever want to read anything or wanted to be told how things work by other people? Well, yeah.
He constantly goes, "There's so many rules.
So many fucking rules.
I'm Light.
There's too many rules.
There's too
fucking
many rules."
He's always bitching about the fucking rules.
Which is basically the, writer and director saying that he thinks there's too many rules in Death Note, which means he missed the entire fucking point of Death Note.
He didn't get it, clearly.
What more could that line be other than fucking... The writer thinks there's too many rules in the original. That's what it means. It's meta commentary on the fact that there's too many rules in Death Note, when that's the point of Death Note, is that there's a bunch of rules. That's what makes it interesting, because it's a fun detective story.
No. So, a couple of the like fundamental rules of this Death Note are apparently like if you don't use it every 7 days, then Ryuk gets to take it back and find a new owner.
Yeah. Because this is something that's like handed down to different people. Like it's made clear that Light is not the first one to get the Death Note, and it's like something that is like destiny chooses you, and it goes to a new person every time. Destiny. Even though that's not what happened at all in the original.
Well, and that's not even the most egregious thing about it. So when only the owner of the Death Note can see the Shinigami in this adaptation. So if you touch the Death Note, you don't get to see the Shinigami.
Yeah, which I think that was always true.
No.
I thought no one could see the Shinigami before, except for
if you touch the Death Note, you can see the Shinigami.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is how Misa was able to see Ryuk and things like that. Yeah. Because she had touched Light's Death Note, but didn't own it. And then there's other stupid rules, like you can burn one page that someone's name is written in and they won't actually die.
Don't think that was a
And
thing.
it only happens once. You can't use it more than once.
Yes.
And just like
because it's a writer's convenience
like
that they want to use
and
once.
like in this one, if you don't specify the way the person dies, then basically it's dealer's choice. The Shinigami gets to choose how they die.
Which is stupid.
The other big thing in this is that there is a clause in the Death Note where you can basically control someone's every action for 24 hours or 48 hours before they die.
You
if
have
you write their name in there.
Complete
you can make them do whatever you want. You are God mode over this person for 48 hours.
Yes.
Which is a little ham-handed.
Yeah.
Because it gives you a little too much power. But
the way they
it's
do
important.
It is a little ridiculous.
It's important for the story.
It's important for the convenience of the writing to reveal the plot to you that doesn't matter.
It's the importance of the plot convenience.
So they can explain L's fucking stupid backstory that like they could have removed from this movie and it wouldn't have mattered because L, the character, is not even remotely the same. So like why even care about his backstory at this point, you know? Why not just have him be a different guy? He should have literally just been the Joker. That would have been a better character.
Essentially. But at this point, Light goes to school, and Mia is starting to show interest in him, and he shows her, like, hey, I have this cool note that lets me kill people. And he demonstrates this to her through a hostage situation, kind of a similar hostage situation to what happens in the anime and the manga, except he is, like, watching a live stream of the hostage situation.
Yeah.
And I'm not entirely certain how he knew both the guy's face and his first and last name, unless that was on the stream and I didn't pick up on that.
I think his name was on the stream. His
so
face,
I guess once he came outside, maybe, but yeah. I don't know. You can give that one a pass technically, but whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's not a big deal.
So he makes this guy come outside and walk in front of an army jeep and get splattered all over the ground hilariously. And it's pretty hilarious. Yeah, his body just explodes into like a big old Jello mold. It's great.
The part that annoys me about the way people die in this movie is that like a guy had to be driving this jeep to drive into him, so it's like the Death Note is also influencing like all the other people around, which just doesn't feel right. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like it's controlling the entire universe around the Death Note to make these things happen.
Be able to be controlled.
Like it's altering all of reality.
It alters the fabric of space and time. So Mia's super impressed by this and apparently also super turned on. Because,
she gets so hard by the Death Note.
Because in the most relatable piece of cinema that any American teenager has ever seen, they go back to Light's house, and they go upstairs to Light's room, and Mia in his room is like backed up against the wall, and Light is standing over her, and he asks if it's okay for him to kiss her. and he goes in to do it, but then because he's a little cuckboy, he stops. And so this is where, you know, the feminism, the Mia is a strong character aspect comes into it, because she's already too into it, man. She's just like, nah, man, this shit has to happen.
Bro,
so she takes control, and she like pins him against a wall, and they start making out. And then there's this montage of them like making out and like writing.
They're literally fucking.
In the Death Note.
Like they are fucking
like,
and using the Death Note.
Names in the Death Note.
And it's this long montage of
like
them
a good
killing
3 to 5 minutes.
like ISIS and shit, and they're also
kill
fucking.
Kim Jong-un and like an ISIS guy.
Yes.
And she's just like so turned on by this.
They're basically Netflix and chill, but killing people.
It's Netflix and kill.
Yes, Netflix and kill. That's the premise of the movie. Is Netflix and kill.
Netflix and kill. So yeah, she's fucking way into it.
Yes, she
just
getting
wants to get
super
on that
hard
fucking
because
dick
she's so edgy
and kill people. And so at this point, they've been doing this for a fresh minute. They've accumulated a good number of kills, and like the cult of Kira is starting to build up in society. But in this world, the Kira cult is actually like kind of a majority of the population.
Yeah.
And like a lot of people are shown to really be supportive of Kira, and even some of the police are supportive of Kira. Sure.
Which
whatever.
was confusing the first time around. Because
yeah,
they're, like,
you don't
fucking
really
up his
pick
dad's
up on
office,
that.
And you're like,
yeah,
why?
Because Light's
Why are
dad's
the police
office
assholes?
gets vandalized, and you're like, wait, what's
what
happening
the fuck?
here? Oh.
Oh, the guy fell out.
Yeah, he fell out.
Oh my god, did I do it?
Oh!
That's gotta just be part 1.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Spicy wasabi beef.
Oh god, no. No.
Oh. Here it goes, phase 2.
Oh god. You thought that shit was hard. Oh, now he's just higher up?
Oh, well that's obnoxious.
Never mind, he's the same. Maybe he's just faster.
Can you shoot?
Oh, he's got more attacks.
He's got takoyaki now.
Because before he only had the attacks from the first game. Whoa, he makes fucking takoyaki tornadoes.
Takoyaki tornadoes.
That's pretty neat.
But anyway, yeah.
Fuck.
So, yeah, the cult of Kira is now around, and the police are actually harassing his dad. Like, the police who are supportive of Kira are harassing his dad and, like, vandalizing his office and shit.
It's weird.
It's very strange. And at this point, Light's dad meets Watari, and starts getting introduced to Elle and things like that.
Watari-ma-sen.
Watari-ma-sen. So yeah, the cult of Kira thing is going on. Elle starts coming into the picture. Watari's in the picture.
Yeah.
And Light's dad randomly, for some reason,
You've got Watari singing to Elle in the car on their way to the airport. He puts on his special day vision goggles to set his biological clock, and then Watari starts singing him some weird ass song in the car, and you're like, what the fuck?
Elle is coming back from investigating a crime scene, and they're trying to readjust his biological clock before he gets to, I guess, America. And so he gives them these weird fucking suntan, like these tanning bed fucking glasses that have the UV light. And he was like, oh, they'll help adjust your biological clock, and then you just need to sleep for 2 hours, and you're good to go.
I'm amazed I haven't seen anyone talking about this Watari shit.
Yeah,
like,
the
no one
Watari
has brought
shit's
this
pretty
up
unexcusable.
of how fucking weird this shit is.
So then Ella's like, yeah, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to sleep. And Watari's like, yeah, well, you fucking should, because sleep is the key to a clear mind.
Yes.
Or some shit like that. And Elle's like, all right, well, will you sing me a song? And, like, Watari sings him this weird song. I don't remember exactly what it is. It's like an American song.
Strange thing.
It's like an American song of
shit.
some sort, but I don't remember what it is. It was just very strange to see Watari singing to Elle while he's wearing these tanning bed sunglasses.
Yes. Because Elle in this movie is literally a child, as you fucking find out throughout the movie.
Yeah.
And from his retarded interviews.
Oh god.
Because this asshole thinks he's Heath Ledger and desperately wants to be the Joker, and so he makes Elle the Joker. Great.
Yeah.
Elle really needed to be like this weird child Joker thing.
Lakeith, whatever, I think he missed the point
He's
of
a
Elle.
fucking hack and a tryhard.
In that he portrays Elle as basically being a autistic child, which,
yes.
I mean, I know there's the argument that Elle is autistic, but he's not, he doesn't act like a child.
Yes, he doesn't act like a fucking infant.
He's always very calm and, like, calculated and precise and, like, focused. Whereas in this movie, he's, like,
he's just like a bumbling, weird
and,
idiot.
Like, wobbling all over the place and, like, doing weird mannerisms that don't have any kind of purpose.
He always looks like he's about to cry.
Yes, he has these puppy dog eyes that Victor hates.
It's so fucking retarded.
He always
like,
looks
what do you think,
real
you're cute
sad.
or something?
He looks real sad.
Yes.
And if you watch the interviews with this guy, Lakeith, whatever, he interviews in character as Elle, and it's so unbelievably cringy.
Yes.
It's so sad. It's like, yeah, it's exactly what Victor said, where, like, he really wanted to be the Joker, and he couldn't get that role, and so he's trying to prove that he's worth it by being Elle, and proving that he can be the character, and that he can be the Joker. That's what it feels like.
But like a weird, gross child,
yes,
also.
But like a weird.
He acts like Elle is actually clinically insane and like schizophrenic.
Yes, he acts like Elle is schizophrenic. That's what I think.
It's fucking weird.
And in this movie, Elle is like super messy, and things that are just completely uncharacteristic. Like he'll reach into the bowl of candy and like scatter a third of the bowl all over the floor and only grab like 10 pieces, and it's just like, okay. Yeah. And so even though Elle has this big thing against making public appearances and against meeting in person and all of these precautions to protect himself, he basically immediately decides to meet with Light's dad.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, by the way, your son could be Kira, so I'm going to investigate him and shit.
Yeah.
And in this scene, there's a really amazing segment, if you watch, where Watari gives Light's dad a matcha ice cream.
Yes.
And he's holding the matcha ice cream in one scene. He hasn't eaten it or anything to that effect. He does not really acknowledge it. He's holding it. They cut away to Elle to say something. They cut back, and the ice cream is gone.
Yep.
And we're like, where's the ice cream?
It's just fucking gone.
It just vanishes. They apparently Adam Wingard doesn't care about continuity in his scenes.
Oh, but the cinematography is so cool.
Yes. Oh my god.
The camera will like go behind a guy and then it'll
randomly
be forward.
spiral for no reason when nothing is really
Dutch
happening
angles.
in a shot. It's very strange. And kind of unnecessary. It's the kind of thing where Victor was saying that the cinematography doesn't really add, it more like it detracts from the story because it makes you focus in on like, wow, what's the camera doing?
The cinematography cares more about itself than it does about the story.
Yeah.
Like, this is something that a lot of young people will do because they want to show off their cinematography and do super cool shots. But it's like, if it's not complimenting anything, what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
You're just... like, you're watching it and you're going, oh, cool cinematography, and you're not paying attention to what the fuck's actually happening. 'Cause that's what I'm doing most of the time. I'm going, oh, that was neat. And you're paying too much attention to that and not to the story, you know?
Yeah.
It's just bullshit.
Exactly.
It's just annoying bullshit. It's not showing you more of the setting, not showing you more of the characters, not giving you any kind of look or symbolism or anything. It's just like, that was a flashy transition.
It's all
cool.
artifice. There is no substance. So, at this point, more or less to summarize that, L has come to the determination that Light is Kira.
Yes.
For all intents and purposes. So, what he does is to confront Light at a cafe in the middle of the night.
Well, this is after the agents thing.
Yeah, this is after a bunch of the agents kill themselves because,
yeah,
so Light's dad goes on a press conference and is like, we don't support what Kira's doing. If Kira could kill me right now, but someone else will step up and take my place,
time.
blah, blah, blah. We'll just see what's going on here.
Alright.
Oh, a truck.
Holy shit, man. Fuck. Oh, am I getting helped? Oh my god.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. Cool. Yeah.
The sniper rifle. Oh, god damn.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
Saved her. Cool.
Low tide ink.
Nice. The brain control, the mind washing is
The hypno glasses fell
or
off.
is she just stunned?
Well, he said the hypno
Alright,
glasses
let's
fell
fucking
off,
do
so,
this shit.
Yeah. His dash punch. Ooh,
Oh, now he moves and then punches.
what a dick.
This fight is so long.
Yeah.
This
I
is
mean,
a
at
truly
least it's not a
epic
whole
final
level,
battle.
you know?
I'm glad it's not a whole level, and I'm glad they try to give you like a meaty, satisfying end to the game. You know, they didn't want to just like phone it in.
Yeah.
And do some retarded, easy boss fight like most shooting games tend to have.
Right. Oh. So yeah, basically they, Light's dad challenges Kira to kill him, and, Mia and Light have a disagreement because Mia's like, well, he's calling us out, we have to kill him. And, Light's like, yeah, I only have one parent left, so, no. And Mia gets really pissed off because she's like, you're being a little bitch, you're holding me back, man.
She's like, God, it would turn me on so much if you killed your dad. What the fuck's wrong with you?
God damn it!
This is all about getting off for me.
She's just cucking him, man. Or he's just cucking her. And, so Mia's all pissed off and shit because, he won't kill his dad. And, yes, so at this point, yeah, so what ends up happening is a bunch of the federal agents who had been investigating Light end up all killing themselves by jumping off of a very tall building in a very goofy scene.
Yes.
It doesn't really matter.
But there's cool music, dude. The
cool
soundtrack
music
is
and
so amazing. The cinematography is there. Someone like literally thought about where to put the camera because it's a film, and that's what people do. Like you have to write everything down, and you usually think of some ideas of what the fuck to do with that. You know, when there's like 200 people giving input on this fucking film.
So
Oh man.
But yes,
yeah.
So they kill all these federal agents, and
except for Light's dad. So it became incredibly obvious that Light is Kira because he didn't kill his dad.
I wonder who Kira is.
Because he killed literally everyone but his dad.
And at this point, they so L confronts Light, tells him that like I know you're Kira, and Light's like, yeah, I am, but what are you gonna do about it? Like that's basically what he says. That's he acts like a smug little cuck, and it's just like, yeah, I'm Kira, and he just kind of is just like, meh, whatevs. And so yeah, there's no mystery to it at all. There's none of the trying to elude
outsmart each other or anything,
and keep him from knowing his real identity as Kira. There's none of that. It's literally just, yeah, I'm Kira, whatever.
I mean, in the original, he kind of does like a, he does a smarmy like.
He's smarmy.
Like you can't do anything about it.
But L doesn't have proof.
Yeah.
L has that hunch. He has the intuition, but like he can't prove it.
Yeah, and then he keeps L guessing. He keeps him on the run, and he becomes his friend and shit. Like he does all kinds of crazy shit.
He doesn't just literally go, yeah, I'm Kira. What are you gonna do?
No.
Yeah. So that's really unfortunate. I think that had to happen. But yes, so because of this, he comes home and he and Mia make up. It's raining and Mia's on his porch and she's like, I'm sorry, baby, I love you. And they cry and they go upstairs and they're like, oh, well, now we need to kill L.
Yeah.
So they decide the best way to get to L is through Watari. And this is where things get kind of even worse. Because Watari's last name is never released. first of all. And how does Light know what Watari looks like? Did they ever see each other?
I don't know, maybe he was on the press conference or something, I have no idea.
Maybe he was. Okay, even if I give them that
Give him the benefit
Light
of the
knows
doubt.
Watari's face. He doesn't know Watari's last name.
Yes.
So, by some stroke of luck, he writes Watari's name in the death note, and the plan is that he is going to take control of him for 48 hours, just long enough that Watari can give him Light's real name. Then he's going to rip Watari's name out of the death note and burn it, so he doesn't die.
For some, like, I don't know why they wouldn't kill Watari.
Yeah,
like,
I don't really know. Maybe because he's not a bad guy.
Maybe it's because, like, L will be onto them, but then they're gonna kill L.
But they're gonna kill
so,
L,
like, whatever.
so, I mean, at that point, you're already sacrificing your morality in
it was so,
doing
like,
this to Watari,
if they couldn't find the name, they wouldn't lose that contact. I don't know.
It was something to that effect. But, I mean, at that point, they're already sacrificing... Light, I should say, because Mia never really gave a shit. But Light is already sacrificing his morality and only killing bad guys by taking over Watari and by killing L, because L's not a bad guy. So he's already compromised his morals if you wanted to go by that vantage point. But whatever, it really doesn't matter, because this is stupid. So he takes control of Watari, and he gets him, Watari calls him and he's like, bro, I don't know L's real name. He came from, like, this orphanage in Pennsylvania? I don't know. And Light's like, well, shit, you gotta go to this orphanage, bro. You only have 48 hours, let's fucking go. And, so Watari decides he needs to go to this orphanage right now in the middle of the night. And, very quickly, L notices that, Watari is not where he should be, and he gets quite upset about this.
He immediately flips his shit and starts crying like a fucking baby over Watari being gone.
Yes.
Because I guess Watari's like his dad.
Watari is his dad, and he's very sad that his dad is not here. So the way he decides to address the situation is Mia and Light's dad are all in their house having a conversation around their dinner table.
Yeah, they're just like having dinner together for some reason.
And Elle just busts into their house, runs up, and, like, sits down with them at the dinner table, and he's,
in his
like...
goofy stance, and he's flipping his shit,
and he's just like...
He's full Nick Cage at this point.
Mr. Light's dad, your son is Light, and you're stupid not to see this.
I mean, your son is Kira.
Or, yeah, same difference. Your son is Kira.
Your son is Light.
And you're fucking stupid not to see this. And he just starts, like, going off with all these wild accusations that make him look like a lunatic.
Yes.
And acting, like, completely unhinged. Like, just off his fucking shit. And he's just like, oh yeah, and he also is like, Mia, leave! And then she's just
shit,
like,
I got him!
Bye. Oh, nice.
Yes, before we could finish summarizing the death note, yes! Please be dead. Holy shit, guys. This is it.
Hey!
Remember your heritage. You're a squid boy!
You're a squid and a kid!
Got him. Yeah!
Good lord. That jump, though.
Yeah, she back! The original fucking cute idols.
Yeah.
They're the best. The new idols can't fucking replace them. They're amazing.
Yeah, they're pretty great.
Like, they stump both of them. I know the black one's cute, but they're way cuter.
As a pair, Mary and Callie are way cuter.
I got the Rainmaker! Yeah!
Oh!
Dude, fuck yeah!
That
Get
thing wrecks
fucked!
shit, too.
Oh shit. Ah! Damn it, I couldn't get him. Shit. Let me ink up the battlefield.
Jesus.
I gotta shoot it all the way up there? Holy shit. Boom! It's not getting him.
You gotta go in the thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh! Yeah!
Oh!
Yeah! Fuck yeah! Oh, okay.
Oh!
I see where this is going. Alright, this is still not gonna be easy.
Oh!
Fuck! I love what they're doing here, but, guys, give me a fucking break.
God damn.
Holy shit.
This is a children's game.
Ah!
Oof.
Fuck.
Whoa.
How do I dodge these? Do I gotta just jump?
Jump, I guess, onto the other rail.
I probably just gotta jump over them.
Yeah, we're over them.
Let's see. Yeah.
Yeah, I like this as a remix of...
There we go.
There you go. Yeah, you jump onto the
jump.
rail. Oh,
Do I gotta
nice.
shoot the fist, or do I just gotta shoot him?
I can't tell.
Great.
Ah.
This is gonna take for fucking ever. Anyways, continue with the Death Note movie. There's no way it's gonna send me back to that part. It's not gonna send me back to the fucking very beginning.
I hope you're right.
There's no fucking way in hell they would do that. That's insane.
Alright, well, we're gonna find out. I'm really curious, which is why I've paused my story.
No fucking way! There is no fucking way it sent me back to the beginning. No. No fucking way. No fucking way! What the fuck?!
Oh, God.
What is this fucking satanic rite of passage? What the fuck?!
Splatoon 2.
Okay, Hope, well, you
Harder
can
than Dark Souls.
telling the fucking story of the Death Note movie because this is fucking insane!
Dude.
This is legitimately harder than Dark Souls. There is no fight in Dark Souls that takes this fucking long. Holy shit! Maybe I just really suck. That's gotta be it. I'm just really, really bad at this fight. Fuck, man. Alright, where were you?
So yeah, Elle rushes in and busts up their nice family dinner, and he's like, "Hey, your son's Kira, and you're an idiot, and I'm also breaking into your house, and I have a search warrant,
Yeah.
and I'm being a dick. Where the fuck is Watari?"
Yes, he has all he wants to know is where the fuck is Watari.
Yeah, and he's
because
being a
that's all he
fucking
cares
total
about.
spaz about it.
He just wants Watari because it's his mommy, and he wants his mommy because he's a fucking child. No!
God
I hate this.
damn.
I hate this fucking game right now. This is absurd.
God,
I can't fucking tell how many hits it takes to get him each time. I got him like what, twice already?
I don't know.
Ugh.
This is highly unfortunate. But yeah, so yeah, he's like, I have a search warrant. Oh, and he freaks out. And so yeah, Light's dad immediately like flips out in return and puts Elle in a chokehold on their dining room
Yes!
table. And he's just like, shut the
He chokes
fuck
him
up.
out. He's like, "You're a fucking stupid bitch, Elle."
So yeah, and they search his house, but they don't find anything. So Elle looks like a fucking loony. And it's revealed the next day when Light goes to school that Mia had smuggled out the Death Note, and then she gives it back to him.
Yeah.
So this is where you realize that if another person touches the Death Note that isn't the owner, you don't get to see the Shinigami. Like, sorry, tough shit.
Yeah.
That's life. And oh, by the way, throughout this entire thing, when they've been like killing people with the Death Note, and Ryuk has been there, making snarky comments, and then like Light will comment back at Ryuk while Mia is there, and Mia will be like, "What are you doing?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm talking to Ryuk. Fuck off."
Yeah. He doesn't hide the fact that Ryuk is a thing at all, you know?
No, he doesn't.
That was one of Light's big trump cards, was that no one knows what the Shinigami are, you know?
Exactly. Oh, and there's another, this happens much earlier in the movie, but when he first gets the Death Note and Light is reading it, like one or two of the rules, one of the rules specifies that like the notebook belongs to Ryuk or something like that, and he reads it and he was like, "This notebook belongs to Ryuk." And he reads it like Ryuk, and then like Ryuk shows up and he's like, it's Ryuk, you fucking weeaboo garbage." Yes. And so it's because, you know, American people can't pronounce Japanese words.
They made a joke on the fact that it's a Nihongo no cartoon. Wow, how original.
I felt that was rather great. And
very
a
creative.
Very funny, creative moment. Thank you, Adam Wingard.
Yes, what a genius.
Yeah, a real comedy genius on top of being great at, you know, horror. So yeah. So he has the Death Note back, and he's like, okay, well, cool, that's nice. And they're still waiting on Watari to get Elle's fucking name so that he can kill Elle, because now at this point, Elle has really pissed him off and like broken into his house and shit like that. So they go to their winter formal or whatever it is.
It was homecoming.
Homecoming, whatever. But it's like the worst.
Or ring dance? I really don't
I think it was
remember.
homecoming.
I think it's homecoming.
But it's like the weirdest, most retro homecoming in the world. Where,
Yeah,
like,
they're
they
like playing this music that no
cutout-
high schoolers would ever be listening to.
The
like
gym
at
is
homecoming.
like covered in cutout paper snowflakes, and like the music
They're playing
is
like
weird.
gothy slow dance
goth
music. Like what the fuck?
And like
This like
fucking
high budget white people homecoming, you know?
Light shows up in like a fucking suit and top hat.
The
and he looks
top
like a
hat
fucking
thing was
tool.
like weird and annoying as shit.
Yeah,
like
he
they're
looks like an
playing up this
asshole.
top hat and that they're like this quirky, edgy couple, and
Yeah.
they're like, what the fuck?
It's really
like,
bad.
Is this relatable to someone? Like, what the fuck is this? Who thought this was a fun idea? This is stupid.
Yeah, Mia has a in case you weren't sure if these guys are edgy, Mia has a magnet in her locker that says normal people scare me.
Yes. Oh, the details. But what an amazing attention to detail
Thanks,
that this
Adam
movie
Wingard. Character development.
Great.
So, yeah.
They really thought about these characters and fleshed them out by having locker magnets.
Yeah, it's really good and really inspiring.
There's so
to
many
future
little
filmmakers.
details.
They
really gave a shit when they were making this movie.
So they go to this fucking shitty homecoming, and during the homecoming, it's like Light leaves for a second to go into the locker room to answer a call from Watari, who is now approaching his like 48 hours of being controlled by the Death Note. And Watari calls him. He's in the orphanage. There was a whole spooky scene in the orphanage where like it looks like no one has touched this place in 300 years, even though like Elle left this orphanage like not even a decade ago.
Yes, it's like so fucked up.
It's so fucked up and like spooky, and like all the windows are blown out and there's leaves all over the ground and shit. And then there's like a secret compartment that's beneath an Ouroboros, and like it's weird.
Yeah, it's like all this weird cult shit. Like it's some kind of Illuminati training ground or something.
It's very strange. But of course, you know, Watari is right on the edge of his 48 hours, and Light is trying to, you know, get the information so he can burn Watari's page and not get him killed. And Watari's like, I still haven't found the name. And Light's like, well, look harder, bitch.
Yes.
And Watari's like, okay. And so he looks harder, and he pulls out the
it
file.
was pretty much like, all right.
he basically was. He looks a little harder, and he finds a file. And right as he pulls out the file, he's like, "Oh, here it is! It's Elle's real name!" And right as he goes to like say Elle's real name, his 48 hours become done, and a guy comes in with like a submachine gun and just fucking mows him down.
This fucking SWAT team comes in.
Dude
and
just
gets
comes
rid
in
of
and just wrecks his shit. So of course Light's all like, oh, God damn it, I didn't mean to kill Watari.
And he's all, Ryuk, this is your fault. And he's like, oh, you gave me creative control, bitch.
It's true. Creative control.
Oh, man.
So he goes back to the Homestuck prom. And
Homestuck prom.
he goes back to Homestuck prom. And Mia is like, oh, by the way, I wrote your name in the Death Note, and you should give that to me. So that and then if you do,
Mia wants the Death Note.
I'll
she's
burn
a
your
strong,
page so you don't
woman.
die. But I want the Death Note because you're a little bitch. She actually calls him a pussy.
Yes.
She literally does. She's literally like, no, you don't get to fuck up and then be a little pussy and expect me to clean up after you.
Yeah.
So
I've been the cool one the whole time because you're a little bitch boy.
Yes. So Light has just been a little bitch boy the entire time, and it was all. And then you learn that like
she's the one who killed.
Mia is the one who
and
killed all
everything,
the FBI agents when Light had thought it was Ryuk fucking with him, and like Mia is the one who had taken Watari's page so that Light couldn't burn it and keep him from dying, and it wasn't Ryuk, and like basically all the bad shit that had happened was Mia.
Yes.
Because she's an idiot. So that goes down, and Light's like, God damn it. And so,
yes, it turns out a woman was the retarded one the whole time.
And so after that, you get a scene where Light goes to the computer lab, which is open to students even though homecoming is happening.
Sure.
Like, there's no teachers in there to moderate anything that's going on, but it's still open. And he goes on, like, the Kira forums and and chooses some guys, and you see him like jotting a bunch of shit down, and you're like, okay, well, where is this going?
Yeah.
And right as he finishes jotting shit down into the Death Note, you hear like the police raiding Homecoming, basically. Like,
yes.
like Elle knows where. Oh no, because Light's dad was worried that Elle was gonna like try and kill Light or something, and he had wanted him in protective custody. So Light's dad had sent all these police officers after Light, and they were raiding the Homecoming to come get him and put him in protective custody. And of course, Light's like, fuck that shit, and he like dips. He just dips out of there and starts running away. And how exactly does that chase scene unfold?
Oh, because Elle stole a police car.
Yes, Elle randomly steals a police car because he's so pissed off that Watari died.
Yes.
And there's some chain of events. He sees Light like running down the street.
Yeah.
And he chases him down in the police car. And he ends up crashing the police car.
Yes, he crashes the police car.
And then he gets out of the police car and starts chasing Light on foot. And they're in the middle of like a really urban part of the city where there's like a lot of back alleys and fences and like the alley lights overhead and shit like that. And they have this like 4-minute long semi-parkour chase scene between Light and Elle, and it's just actually kind of amazing.
That was definitely the best scene because it's fucking hilarious. This is the best part of the movie because it's great. They both run super goofy.
Yes.
And they're just knocking shit over and like running into people and just fucking people up.
Are just going ham. These guys are fucking just sprinting all over the place, jumping over shit. Like, Elle does this thing where he slides over the hood of a car in the least efficient way possible.
Yes, and like hurts himself.
And like, yeah, almost trips on the end of the hood of the car. And they're just like sprinting through all these, you know, alleys and abandoned buildings, and they sprint through the kitchen of this restaurant, and there's people working in the kitchen, and so they're like shoving kitchen workers aside, and they're knocking over all their utensils, like Light's running through and knocking over this cart of utensils so that Elle can't run through it as efficiently, even though it doesn't really create much of a problem.
Yes.
Like, he just jumps right over it.
Like the tiniest diversion.
But the best part of this entire chase sequence is they like erupt out from the kitchen
in a ramen shop
in the back of this restaurant, and
it's
there's like a
place,
it's not.
Isn't it a ramen bar? It
No,
like
it's
a ramen
not.
Bar.
It looked like it was a diner.
I thought it was a ramen bar.
No,
because it's Japanese, you know, Nihongo no reference.
I don't think it was a ramen shop. But there's like an L-shaped bar, and then there's like a little median in the middle of the restaurant, and there's a couple of patrons that are eating, and so Light comes through first, and Light does the sensible thing where he like runs through the area between the bar and the median, and then just hops over the front half of the bar and like books it out of the front of the restaurant. What Elle does is he decides to hop up onto the bar where the patrons are eating. He like knocks a couple dishes off of the bar. He decides that's no good, jumps down off of the bar. As he runs past a patron that's like eating a bowl of soup or something, he literally like reaches out and grabs this guy by the head and shoves his face down into his bowl of soup as he runs by. And I was like, what did this guy do to deserve that? That's completely unnecessary and out of character for Elle to just be like, fuck this guy and his clam chowder. So she's like, god damn. So they keep chasing each other in an extremely goofy fashion for another couple minutes. And then it all ends where they run out into this alleyway, and it's a dead end, and Light has nowhere to go, and Elle pulls out this gun that he had gotten. Whereas at the beginning of the movie, Elle always said that he didn't use guns, he didn't kill.
Yes.
But now he's so upset that Watari is dead that he's willing to use a gun and he's willing to kill Light.
Now he knows. Now
he's lost it. He knows he can kill. So yes, he goes ahead and has this gun, and he's like, I'll fucking shoot you, bro. And as they're having this confrontation in the alley, a guy comes out of the back of one of his restaurants, like he's taking out the trash. He runs this restaurant or something. And Elle's like, stop, don't move. This man is Kira, and I'm getting ready to arrest him. And then he turns back to Elle, and while he's not, or back to Light, and when he's not looking, the restaurant guy like picks up a 2x4 and like slams Elle over the head with it, and knocks him out. And he just gives Light a little wink, like, I got you, dog.
You're Kira.
You're Kira. And he just gives him a little wink and blows him a kiss, and Light leaves. And this is where
because Light's a hero in this story.
He's the people's hero. my phone made a noise. It was useless. Yes, he's the people's hero. So this is where things really get ham, because Light decides to go to the carnival on the pier?
The Ferris wheel, because that's where they were before.
Because, yeah, him and Mia went to this Ferris wheel at the beginning of the movie, and he's just like, I'm gonna go to the Ferris wheel.
Because Ferris wheels are where teens go.
And for some reason, Mia shows up there, too.
He told her to meet him there.
Oh, yeah, he told her to meet him there. I forgot about that. So he had told Mia to meet him at this Ferris wheel. They meet up, and they hop in one of the carriages on the Ferris wheel. And he had stolen Elle's gun when he was knocked unconscious, and so he uses the gun to threaten the guy operating the Ferris wheel. And he's like, yeah, fucking start the Ferris wheel, bro. And the guy's like, okay. And he starts the Ferris wheel, and then Light shoots the mechanism that operates the Ferris wheel so that it, like, can't stop spinning, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know how he knows that that's the outcome that's gonna happen, but he apparently does.
Fuck it.
So yes, he shoots the Ferris wheel, and he's just like, all right, this is our lives forever. Now we're just trapped in this Ferris wheel. And then they stay there for the rest of their lives. The end.
Hashtag trapped in the Ferris wheel.
Trapped in the Ferris wheel.
Yes, get him.
Get him!
Now there's a third part of fighting this fucking thing. Like, this is absurdly long of a final battle, man.
This is a pretty intense fight.
They may as well have just had the entire stage. Alright, continue.
But yeah.
Oh my god.
So they're in the Ferris wheel, and Light unveils that at this point Mia has written Light's name in the death note, and he has to, give her the future diary, the death note,
Nikki.
or he dies. And so he's like, if you really love me, you won't take the death note. It's done nothing but cause us all this pain and suffering, and I love you, and we're, whatever. This is some bullshit. And she's like, yeah, that's cool. I like you, I guess. And then she, like, snatches the death note out of his hand. Mm. And then Ryuk shows up, and I guess he uses his magical Shinigami powers to create a whole bunch of wind. And the wind makes the Ferris wheel rip off of its axis and dangle precariously over the water / the pier, and it's like barely on its little hinge, and it's like, oh, the Ferris wheel is gonna fall off and kill a bunch of guys. And so when the Ferris wheel tilts off of its axis, Mia falls through the, like, door of the carriage, and she's like dangling off the end of the Ferris wheel, and Light has her by the hand, and he's like, I got you, we're gonna be alright, it's gonna be okay.
We good.
But spoiler alert, it's not okay. And they both fall, presumably to their deaths. And you see Mia fall, and she lands on this big bed of flowers on the pier. I don't know why there was just a big bed of flowers sitting on the edge of the pier, except for that Adam Wingard thought it would look cool.
Yeah.
But that's what she does. God damn. And then Light falls into the ocean, and that's how you know he isn't dead, because he didn't splatter his brains violently all over the ground.
Yes.
So you know he's not dead. But Mia dies, and Light falls into the water, and Elle's just like, oh man. And at that point, Elle has shown up on the scene, and the only thing he's really there for is you see a page of the Death Note flutter down, and it lands in one of those big metal
oil drum
cans.
fire?
Yeah, big oil drums that's happened to have a fire in it, and it lights the page on fire, and you can see that it's the page that had Light's name on it that Mia had written, and it's burned, so now he doesn't have to die.
How do you burn?
And Light's just like, oh shit. So it cuts forward a little bit to Light being in the hospital, and he like wakes up from this coma, and he's like, oh, ain't that some shit? And like the Death Note is like sitting there on his chest, just like, hey buddy, what's going on? I missed you. And then you find out Light's big plan, where like he had plotted the whole thing with the Ferris wheel and Mia stealing the Death Note and then dying, and then he had planned for himself to fall into the water. And once he fell into the water, there was a like groundskeeper who had like raped children.
It was a doctor.
No, there was two people.
Yeah, well, the guy who finds it is the doctor because he had to give him CPR.
So the guy who found him was a doctor who had like sexually assaulted patients or something.
Yeah, because it has to be a bad guy.
And he gives him CPR and he resuscitates him, and then he gives him phenobarbital to keep him in a coma for like 3 days or something. And it's like, yeah, all right, sure, whatever. So he keeps him in a medically induced coma, and then he also controls this gardener who had been like a pedophile, and he has him keep writing names in the Death Note for the 3 days that he's unconscious, and then deliver the Death Note to him, and then both these guys die.
Yeah.
And so that's how the Death Note had ended back up with Light.
Yes, and that's the only moment of actual Death Noting that happens.
Exactly,
in
that's
this
the only moment
movie.
of like strategic plotting that happens in the whole fucking movie. And then Light's dad comes into the hotel room. They're in the hotel is a hospital apparently, but he comes in the hospital room, and he's like, yeah, so I know you're Kira, like that's cool, I guess. Like he doesn't seem that upset about it. He's just kind of like, yeah, I'm disappointed in you, son.
He's shocked. I don't know why he knows he's Kira now. Like,
yeah, I don't really understand why he picked up on that.
I don't know what revealed that.
But I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Because he's like, yeah, I mean, I guess I'm disappointed, but whatever. And sorting through her personal items in her room, looking for the calculus book. That's right. He was like, oh, it's something, the calculus book. It has to be in the calculus book. And he finds the fucking page of the Death Note in the calculus book. And they give you a very ambiguous ending where...
they changed directions or something. What the fuck?
Where it's like L, and he's really like considering if he wants to write Light's name in the Death Note, and it's just L with his dad, or Light with his dad in the hospital, and they're just kind of chilling there, and then it cuts away, and it turns out that L did not write Light's name in the Death Note, and instead he got stripped of all his power and position by the government, and they're like, yeah, you're a fucking wacko, so yeah, no more for you.
Yeah.
and so yeah, with of all his power and authority and looking like a fucking idiot, and Light still has the Death Note and basically has no consequences except for the fact his dad knows that he's Kira.
And his girlfriend died. No.
Yeah, but he didn't really like her that much anyway.
True. She was kind of a bitch.
She was kind of a bitch.
Fucking hell, man. Here it is.
Oh my god, my throat's so dry from talking.
We're fighting the guy.
Holy shit. So,
what the? It still hit me even though I fucking got it.
Even though you got it. So, I think overall, the problem with this movie is that it's billed as a Death Note movie. If this was just not at all associated with Death Note, and it didn't have the characters of Light and Misa and L tied to it, it would have been a totally acceptable bullshit Netflix movie. No one would have looked at it twice. If Adam Wingard hadn't desperately wanted that fucking that Death Note association, then this movie would have flown under the radar. It would have been one of those things where, like, some people liked it because it was a goofy horror movie and they thought it had interesting concepts. But instead, because he absolutely had to associate it with Death Note, it's shit.
Fuck. Well, it's really that because they tried to make a Death Note remake, because they tried to make an actual adaptation is why it's shit. If they had just made a Death Note movie in an alternate timeline, and, like, you could have had Ryuk, but it's like, you know, maybe it's a sequel or something, or an alternate universe,
right,
and
or
it's
a
not
different
the same
user of the
characters.
Death
If they
Note.
didn't give the characters the same names.
If they didn't want us to believe that, like, that is Light, or that is Misa, or that
Yeah.
is L. If they didn't shit on the characters that everyone is so fond of because of their, like, complexities and their reasons that they act the way they do, and then to take those reasons and just, like, be like, whatever, and just fucking destroy it,
Yeah.
then it wouldn't have nearly the negative hype that it does.
Fuck. I can't even, like, I can't think about what I want to say about Death Note because this boss is intense.
This boss is pretty fucking intense. Ugh. Jesus.
But yeah, I mean, part of the interesting, the fun of watching this movie is seeing everyone else's reaction to it.
Yeah.
And so, like, you got Mother's Basement desperately ending it. No, the movie's level is just stuff that fucking anyone can do.
It's just something
like,
a movie should be able to do.
Yeah, it doesn't really mean anything. Like, every movie should be treating its characters with, like, at least some degree of thought. You know, when it's a thing that's been produced over years. Holy shit.
Oh!
Holy shit, did we beat him.
Head for Octavio
Oh my fucking god.
from the inner rail. All
Okay,
right,
there's a new
hop in
rail.
one more,
Oh my
yeah.
god. Oh my god, did we do it?
Get him!
Oh, Jesus. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh!
Got
Fucking Jesus, I
him!
did it. I beat the boss.
Fuck this guy.
Anyways, and then I thought it was interesting
It's
because
like Team Rocket's blasting off again.
Hyperbit Hero did a podcast with fucking Adam from Your Movie Sucks as a guest appearance, and then it was refreshing to hear Adam as someone who is a movie buff who has seen these kinds of movies a lot
Yeah.
talk about how shitty it is, and you're like, okay, someone else gets that all of those things don't make it a decent movie. Like,
Yeah.
someone who really appreciates movies sees that none of those things make it a good movie, you know, after you have Jeff, like, desperately trying to say that it's good.
Desperately, yeah, defending it to the death, even when it's fucking such garbage.
God, okay. We beat the game.
Oh.
What's going on now? Are the other idols gonna come back and hang out? There's a Zapfish up there. Yeah!
Look how cute he is.
Cool, we saved him.
It's the boy.
It's the good boy.
I like the Zapfish. He's really
Yeah.
cute.
You want a Zapfish plushie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone make it.
Email
Someone give us a Zapfish plushie.
us a Zapfish plushie. Wow.
Yes.
Yep.
By the email. Holy fuck. That's it, guys.
Splatoon
That's
2.
Oh,
and you
yeah.
can ink the,
Oh yeah, and it
credits.
reveals stuff. Cool. Neat. Whoa, what a fun interactive credits idea.
Oh,
Cool.
there they is.
Cool. Yeah. This game is amazing. Yeah, no one mentioned this in the review because they didn't fucking actually play
Nobody
the whole
actually
story
beat
mode.
the game, Victor.
Exactly. Didn't talk about how it's the coolest credits that's ever happened in a fucking video game. This is almost as cool as fucking Smash Brothers Melee shooting the credits shit. Did you ever do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa, and now you get to blend the colors. You never get to blend two different squid ink colors. Like, look, they're actually, like, mixing.
Yeah.
That you don't ever get to do that in the game because you just cover it with your own color. Whoa, that looks pretty cool. I wish they did mix. That'd be interesting.
That would get really confusing
Yeah,
like, in-game, though.
but it would look neat. It would look real neat.
Oh gosh, I love the little drawings that all the different staff members did.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
Oh, fuck yeah, cool. I'm gonna start shooting low so that it'll blend colors. Yeah! Yeah! I'm making it pretty.
Victor is a very color boy.
I am a colorful boy. Yeah. Sick. Wonder if it'll give me like a percentage splat rating at the end.
Maybe.
Oh, those colors are not blending well at some points. They're like mudding together.
Some of it doesn't flow quite as good,
Yeah.
but that's okay. My throat kind of hurts from talking.
Yeah. You speak at quite the loud volume on the channels. Which I understand, you know.
I get excited
I
about the
tend
Death
to
Note
yell,
movie.
and so I think it makes you yell. But yeah, it destroys the throat talking at this volume.
My throat's super dry.
Wow, Splatoon.
But yeah, all that to say, the Death Note movie is fucking garbage.
I hope you guys enjoyed Hope summarizing the Death Note movie for like 45 minutes to maybe an hour, maybe
I
over an
shaved,
hour.
I don't think it was over an hour.
Anyone who's seen the movie was probably just like, God, why? I don't know, maybe it was fun.
I will say the one thing in the movie that wasn't complete shit is I do think that Willem Dafoe makes a really good Ryuk.
Yeah,
he did a great job.
Completely wasted on this shitty movie.
Yeah, he got a shit script. But as far as like the mocap and the voice acting, he did fucking great because the Green Goblin is basically Ryuk.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, he was already ready. He already knew what to do.
Yeah.
So that was the one really good thing. I think it just really sucks because I wanted to like Lakefield, whatever his name is, as L, but you just can't.
He sucks.
You just can't.
He
like,
just
you can't like
actually really sucks. Like, it's a bad character, and he's annoying. Like,
yeah. It's like you said, where it feels like he thinks he's really cute when he's doing these things.
Yeah.
And it becomes obnoxious.
It's just really stupid. It's a really bad depiction of L. What bothers me the most is that, like, his pretension is that he cared so much about this character, cared about being L, to the point that he did method acting and, like, had to really become L, but completely doesn't act like L. Like, completely missed the point of the character
he
L.
misses the point
so
of being
clearly
L.
he doesn't get it. His method acting was bullshit. Whoa, we got special gear for beating the game. Cool.
You got a hero suit replica.
Wow. Dude, let's put that on. That's cool. Sardinium. Sardinium acquired. I wasn't ready for a pun.
He's not a read boy.
Gatorade.
Gatorade.
We did it, guys.
Woo! I made that noise into my water and it almost shot in my face.
Well, that's it for Vic and Hope Plays Splatoon 2. Thanks for hanging out.
I had more topics. And I choked on my water.
Well, I figured, you know, it's a finale. You never waste your topics on a finale.
You never waste your topics on a finale.
Hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope we were recording. Because we can't do that again.
Oh, God.
Okay, it's all recorded, thank God. See you guys next time. We'll figure out a different game to play.
Oh, God.
Or a live stream or something, I don't know. But not tonight.